Hello guys, welcome to today's stream once again. I hope you guys have had a good rest of your day. I had a really busy morning, was on the road all morning, and so I finally got around to getting some time to sit down and work on my sketch. So it's been a while, but yeah, I'll hopefully make some good progress today. We'll see. So yesterday we actually did this entire wall. So this is the extension of my storybook, which I'm going to eventually send into children's book agencies. But this is the left-hand side of the book. And so it's a story about Humpty Dumpty, and it's got a little bit of a twist to it, so it's not your standard Humpty Dumpty story, but yeah, it'll be a little bit different. Hopefully I'll get it done soon and then you guys can see. But yeah, so yesterday we did this this spread, and I was able to finish the entire wall, which I didn't expect, but you know, happy little surprises. Happy little surprises are great. So today I'm hoping, I'm definitely going to finish it off, that's for sure, but I'm hoping that I may be able to start a new page, which will be really fun and interesting, and then I'll get to draw more bricks, which is even more fun and more interesting. Not, but that's okay, we will eventually overcome all the bricks, and I will be very happy once I don't have to see more bricks. But for now, I'll just plow ahead, you know? Plow ahead and hopefully get all of these done. It was so interesting. I actually kind of slid the slider on one of my past YouTube videos from start to finish, like just slid it through the video, and I realized that my plants were actually moving, and it was really cool to see how much my plants were actually moving while I was streaming. It's kind of freaky, but you know, pretty cool at the same time. You always underestimate how much plants actually move, so it's pretty intense. Hi Califon, how are you? Sorry I didn't see that message, got some spam from Pretzel Rocks and I didn't realize that you'd typed something. If you guys can hear some chewing sounds in the background, that's little Zazu. He's chewing on some leftover pistachio shells. Don't ask me why, I always just guess that he likes to taste the residual saltiness in those. Who knows? Not sure why. You can hear him flapping about in the background. So, at least he's amusing himself, you know? At least he's amusing himself. That's really awesome. I'm not sure which spread I'll be starting if I do start a new one. It's pretty exciting. I've actually looked forward because I've been on this one for so long. I'm pretty sure I started this one before Christmas and yeah, I've been kind of stuck on it because I've been working on so many paintings in between, so you know, a lot of different projects I've had going on, so yeah, it'll be really exciting once I get to start a new spread for this book. And I'll probably get to that today. If I can make a start on the new spread, I'll be so excited. Absolutely so excited. You absolutely love my art. Oh, Replicant, thank you. I'm so glad you like my work. That's awesome. How have you been today? Hope your day has been really good. It is so warm here today. I am actually boiling in my studio. So I'm, we actually got some fire warnings as well. So hopefully nothing happens in my area. We actually haven't had a fire in my area before, but it's better to be safe, you know, rather than be sorry. So yeah, fire ban warning, so can't do any barbecuing, can't do any open fires outside. You've got to be really careful, take lots of precautions, but oh well, it's all just the standard. Just hoping it will cool down soon because it's so awfully hot. But we knew about this horrible weather prediction at the start of the week, so I actually expected much worse. Good, you sneezed while painting a straight line and painted a D instead. Well, that's really helpful. You can call it artistic deviation, you know? Artistic deviation. The painting clearly wants you to go a different route. So maybe you gotta follow its intuition, you know? So what exactly are you painting today, Replicant? Are you doing oils or are you doing acrylics? acrylic was just working on an oceanfront scene. Okay, that sounds challenging. Ocean is never an easy or straightforward thing to do. You know, waves can be so challenging. I never know what's harder, you know, waves or clouds. I'm always debating whether or not clouds are harder or whether waves are harder. Never sure. Acrylic is just working on an ocean front. Oh, so you are discovering? Discovering, what do you mean discovering? Because of the D, I am a bit lost. So I'm just drawing lots of little trees in the background at the moment. Trying to get it to look like the other spread on this side. And make sure that they're similar, you know? Luckily I haven't scanned this side, otherwise, you know, I'd still be tempted to go over it and keep making tiny little adjustments as usual. Lots of happy little trees, exactly. Referencing Bob Ross here today, aren't we? How have you been, Dr. Chronic? Hope you had a good day. I hope it's not as warm where you are as it is here. Hope you've got some cooler weather, because gosh, what is the temperature today? I'm curious. Let me have a look. So it's apparently 31 degrees, sorry, 33 degrees, and probably a little cooler than that inside, but still quite intense. You're from California. Actually, it was in the 70 Fahrenheit not long ago. How much is 70 Fahrenheit in Celsius? Let me check that. Okay, that's a nice temperature actually. Yeah, like 20-ish. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Nice and comfortable. Room temperature. Overcast in West Coast Canada, 6 degrees. Ooh, no, that is way too cold. Way too cold. Hi Khan, you're back. Nice to have you on here almost all the time. It's always exciting to chat with you. 20-ish, like 20-ish, yeah, so it's going to snow. Oh my goodness, really? That's crazy, at 20? Wow, who'd have thought, right? I'm doing really good, Khan, by the way. I had kind of a busy morning-ish, busy-ish. Had a meeting with someone earlier today, and it ended up going a lot later, which is fine, but yeah, kind of meant that my art time got pushed away a little bit, so yeah, kind of sad, but that's alright. It's going to drop below 0. Oh no! Oh no, I hate cold weather. This is why I much prefer the warmer weather. Like, yes, I complain about it, but it's okay, you know, we can deal with this. We can manage the warmer weather. Cold is just no. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. We can add the birds today as well, you know? Yesterday I told you guys that I was wanting to add some birds, so hopefully we can do that. It'll be really exciting. Because I just feel like, you know, a couple of birds flowing through might be interesting. Glad to be back. With time differences, happy I'm streaming at US friendly times. Well, I'm actually surprised that this is a US friendly time. Because it's the middle of the day, well, kind of past the middle of the day for me, and yeah, I wasn't thinking that it would suit a lot of people's time zones, but it's when it's really convenient for me to hop online and do some art, you know. It's like 10:30 p.m. Okay, so earlier would actually be better. It's 7 p.m. Pacific Coast, and for you it's 8:30. That's nice. Those are some really good times for you guys actually, because you know, most of you still have plenty of evening left, which is a nice time to be watching streams, although I have noticed that lots of people watch live streams while they're at work, which isn't a bad thing, you know, especially like I used to do that all the time, but you know, I used to work from home, and it was very relaxing having live streams on while I'm working, because I was able to just, you know, listen and sort of stay up to date and hop into the chat when I felt like it, and yeah, I don't know, kind of just help work not feel like work. Charles likes to stream from about 7 to 4 a.m. if he can. I was wondering what hours, but you know what? I used to do, I'm saying I used to, which makes it sound like it's really long ago, but it's actually not that long ago. Like a couple of weeks ago, I was doing 4 a.m. streams like all the time, which really suited the European people, but it was really not healthy for me, so I had to try and shift my schedule a bit and go like, you know, I rather want to be awake during daytime, so I'll rather stream at a time that suits me. Which is fun because I'm very much a night owl, so I always have to remind myself not to stay up late. But Charles is very much, when he gets focused on drawing, he does not stop. It's crazy. You're kind of jealous people can do that. You didn't take a break today. What do you mean you're jealous that people can do that? Stay up that late? Well, I'm a vampire? Oh, yeah, that's true, that's true. So, being up at night does make sense, because then I don't have to face the sun and everything. Does make sense, I guess, but, you know, you have to try and fit into human society from time to time, so can't just always be up at hours that suit you. You're jealous of people who can watch Twitch at work. Yeah, I'm sure it's not possible for you because you're very much up and about at work, you know, being in the library and all that. But I'll be right back, guys. I think we've got some kitchen issues going on, so hopefully everything's okay. My kitchen is not fire, is it? No. I think something's getting burnt, so I put it on earlier, and so it sounds like my family's checking on it. Hopefully it's okay. You hear some rustling? Exactly, yeah, hopefully it's fine. We'll see. We'll find out later. It's around almost 3 p.m. here at the moment, so Yeah, it sounds like someone's panicking. I don't know. They sound semi-panicked. Not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know if it can be safe though, because that's definitely smelling quite roasted, so I suppose we'll find out. I'll let you guys know. Definitely let you guys know. I think there's, you know, sometimes I wonder, what are the best jobs? You know, what's the most relaxing job? Because at times, you know, a job that doesn't keep you very stimulated can be draining in the sense that you're sort of just waiting the day away. You know, if you're not entertained enough or focused enough at work and just sort of mind-numbingly getting through it, it's definitely not fun. I know that a couple of my past employment roles were kind of like that, and yeah, it was really hard. You know, you'd think if you're bored, it's easier to get through a day because you don't have a lot to do and you're not tired or anything, but I actually found that that was worse. Like, not having anything to do at work was much worse than, you know, constantly having something to do, because yeah, getting through the day was just very much a grind. You keep yourself stimulated regardless. You have always been a daydreamer. Yeah, well, I guess, you know, if you have the opportunity to do that at work, that's fine. You know, for me, at my job, I wasn't really able to do other, you know, personal things at work. You know, I didn't feel comfortable being on Twitch and such because my office area wasn't exactly private, and so it felt kind of silly just needing to sit around and not do anything, but at the same time not being able to watch Twitch, you know. Really felt kind of pointless. So yeah, eventually I left, which was a really good decision because it was getting to the point where it was definitely boring me. So yeah, I think work needs to be a good balance between, you know, we need to feel useful, and we also need to still be able to breathe in between, I think. What's my favourite bird? I would have to say a hyacinth macaw. They're really big parrots. They're the largest parrot on Earth. They have black beaks and beautiful blue bodies, and they have little yellow skin patches around their eyes and these gorgeous pure black eyes. So they look kind of comical. They look kind of like clowns. I can show you guys actually. They're so interesting, and I would love to have one. But if you want one of these in Australia, actually, it can cost you up to $80,000. So that dream is never going to be a reality. I already know that. Let me just see if I can share my browser with you guys. There we go. So these are hyacinth macaws. As you can see, they have beautiful yellow patches around their beak and their eyes. They have beautiful black eyes. I mean, that is just one gorgeous bird. That is gorgeous. And super long tails. I'll try to show you guys a scale pic. Let's see if I can find one with a human being. There we go. Well, there's a good scale pic. So yeah, that's about the size of these birds. Hi Tobakeen, how are you? How's it going? Glad to see you back. You can definitely understand that when you first opened the library again, you were dead and had almost nothing to do. Exactly, it's not fun. It's not fun at all. They are 18,000 CAN. What is CAN? Very nice. They look like they're about to get you to buy the latest and greatest cereal. Why is that? Because they look like one of those cartoon toucans you see on cereal boxes. Oh, that's Canadian. Yeah, so I think in America and, well, obviously Canada, they are definitely a lot cheaper. Now, I could get them from over there and sort of send them to Australia. The only problem with that is I want a hand-reared bird, you know, a very young one, and the risk of them, you know, stressing out being that young during quarantine is just really high for them to die during transit. And not only is that a very expensive bird, but you know, you'd feel horrible having had that bird sent over here and then had them pass away during transit. So yeah, it's definitely not something that I'm keen to do. So I am going to one day buy myself a green wing macaw, and I just need to find the right place to put it, because they need a lot of room. So far I barely have room for Zazie, and he's so small, and if I want to have a bird like that, I really want to give it a decent sized cage so it can fly about freely and everything. So yeah, it's a long dream, but it's going to happen someday. I know I will have a macaw. Not a hyacinth, but for sure I will have a macaw. I'm really good, Dovahkiin, I'm really good, except for the heat. It's atrociously hot and I'm not enjoying it. Yeah, the Fruit Loops mascot is a toucan. Oh, well, that's not a toucan, that is definitely a macaw. So toucan is not a parrot. They do look similar actually. Parrots have curved beaks. Well, toucans do as well, but parrots actually are the only birds, I'm pretty sure, that have two legs in the front and two in the back, so the little feet look like, you know, four little limbs, and they're the only species of bird that have two in the front and two in the back. All other birds have three in the front and either, I think, one or two. I think it's one in the back. I'm pretty sure. Maybe there's one other species of bird that has the two too. I think there might be one other species, but other than that, it's only parrots that do. Yeah, one in the back. You got a bird joke for me, no worries, go ahead. You hear it's been really hot in Aussie land as of late, since 2019. Yes, no kidding, it has. And not enjoying it. Definitely not enjoying it. But I much prefer it over winter, so if you were a bird, I know how I'd communicate. If you were a bird, you know how I communicate. Oh, with toucans. Oh, right, of course. Another terrible joke from you, Khan, as per usual. You're never lacking in the humour department, are you? Thank you for that one. Toko toucans are great. I'm pretty sure there is one other species of bird that has two toes in the front and two in the back. But I'm not sure. I do remember them saying that is how you can distinguish parrots from other birds, but I think I did find one other species of bird that does have the two in the front and two in the back. So, don't think that says it for a certainty, but you live up in the woods on a volcano, so it's not so bad in the summer, but it gets on average 45 to 48 Celsius in the city on average in the summer. Wait, what? That's crazy. Isn't it gonna blow? Aren't you worried? What volcano is that? That seems pretty crazy. I don't know if I feel comfortable living like that. What if it's like a repetition of Mount Vesuvius? Reminds you of home? Why is that? Does it get crazy hot over in India, Domican? I think India has worse humidity than we do in Adelaide though. We have horrible humidity in Brisbane, but in Adelaide it's totally fine. There's very few days that we have bad humidity. I think in India that's a lot worse. Mount Lassen, okay. It's an awesome landscape, right? Are you raised birds when you were younger? All species. That's pretty awesome. What were your favourite ones? Did you have favourite ones? I used to keep small finches. The rainbow ones, I think I had the rainbow ones, and I had zebra finches as well. And I always caught them and just held them in my little hand when I needed to get them out of the cage, and they were so tiny, so small and harmless. I don't know what happened to them, to be honest. Because I don't remember them passing away or anything like that. I never recall losing them, so I'm wondering if we probably gave them away when I moved. I don't know. Definitely hard to say what happened, right? You know, a customer today was asking for an audio book with subtitles. Then you thought to yourself, oh wait, that's just a regular book, right? Yeah, that does make sense. Were they messing with you? Especially in the cities where all trees have been cut down, it's just cement buildings and the asphalt roads. You could fry an egg on the hood of a car. I bet. Triton cockatoo and strawberry finches. Ooh, I think I know what strawberry finches look like. Let me just double check. I think I know. Yes, I've seen the strawberry finches. We have a couple of those at the pet store a bit north of the city here, and they're so small, they're so tiny. It's late, please don't hurt your brain. It tries to decipher messages. It last erupted in 1915, so not worried. Okay, do they do checks on it though? You know, to make sure that it's still, you know, behaving and all that? Because I don't know. I don't think I'd sleep comfortably knowing there's this volcano that heats up the whole city every now and again. It's still minor active, okay. That was your joke, but today a customer did put you in a slightly better mood today, just talking to you and being friendly. Which you really needed, feeling super vulnerable lately. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good at all. Well, I hope you feel more relaxed, especially at work, you know. And yeah, it's always lovely when people just take that little minute of their day to make you feel welcome and comfortable, right? You think you had a spiritual dream and you can't go back to sleep now. Okay. Hopefully you have a better rest of your evening. Don't you just hate it when you have dreams that feel kind of real and you wake up thinking they actually happened and then they didn't? It's like, oh my goodness. And then you wonder what's actually real anymore. Hi Dream Orb, welcome back. Thanks again so much for subbing the other day. I really appreciated that. And welcome. Hope your day's been good. What am I planning to draw on the grass? Not really much, to be honest. This page is going to have the text, so the text will probably be right about here. So this is the second page of the book, this is the left side. So I'm not going to add a whole lot of detail on the second page because, well, it's going to be blanked out with some light in the center to make room for the text, so any detail I do add will probably just get lost. So I'm essentially just doing as much as I can, and then I will start the next spread after this one. What you enjoy having friends at work and hiking through the woods, discovering old cabins, through log road trails, and seeing wildlife like baby bears and baby deer. That does sound beautiful. I'd be worried about the bears though, but like I did read that apparently because humans are sort of moving into the forest areas a lot more, the bears are actually coming into the city areas more frequently, and there was this lady and she actually got killed right in front of her little boy, which was tragic. And like, you kind of feel upset at the bear, but at the same time it's not their fault they don't have food in the minimal forest areas because we're cutting down all their forests, so they're just trying to survive and they're in the wrong spot now, so apparently people are really trying to focus on that forest conservation, which is good, but I don't know how aggressive bears are in general over there. Luckily we don't have any big predators in Australia, and everyone says that we're the scary country. What's so scary about Australia? We've got like a few dingoes in the wild and they're not even that scary. Is it possible that this is all a dream and the dreams we have are the real thing? Now that is a deep, deep question and very plausible, Dovikin. Who knows? Maybe if you unlock that eternal life of yours, as we were speaking last month, you could probably figure that out for us, and you'd be able to tell us all. Last night you had a dream 2 trained bears attacked your house and you sacrificed yourself so your youngest brother could escape. Oh my goodness! How noble of you! Just shows your true nature though. I'm sure he would have been grateful, but I'm glad it wasn't real. Or maybe you're now a ghost, since Dovikin just told us that this may all be a dream. Thank you for the follow, Pencil Pusher. Did I see Puss and Boots where Humpty Dumpty was a jerk thief? No, I haven't. It was your pleasure. The talented must be supported sufficiently. Thank you so much though. Honestly, means enough that you guys are watching and being here. Honestly, it means so much. For as long as you can remember, you had a lot of dreams regarding animals. Might have to do with your deep connection to nature and animals. Well, animals are really awesome. I love animals. And you feel like, just being around them, you don't have to talk. You can just relax and be yourself. And no matter what, they're always friendly. They're always just listening ear. Hi Elamar, you're back. Welcome. Do I like to do dark fantasy? For sure, yeah, I'm totally into dark fantasy. Probably got a couple of different paintings that we'll be heading into that area fairly soon. But yeah, my art, essentially I identify as a pop surrealist artist, which is sort of, it's kind of like dark fantasy in a sense, just more focused on particularly younger children. In a lot of the subject matter, they are often young children, so you have small black bears, but you mostly worry about the giant mountain lions. Oh my goodness, that's scary. Spiders and snakes, Necker, spiders and snakes. That is just like, I don't know, I do agree I don't like snakes, but I don't know, bears are huge. Like, it's really hard to actually die from a bear, but, die from a snake, but it's so easy to die from a bear. Like, if a snake bites you, At least you can go to the hospital and get some help, but if a bear attacks you, you're pretty much doomed. So, hi Retro, where am I from? You didn't get my accent. I'm from Australia, so hopefully that helps. If you are up late enough or early enough to catch my stream, you will be here, no worries. You were drinking vodka, but had to stop because work tomorrow. Oh, Ian's here too! Welcome, Ian. How have you been? I haven't seen you for a while. Hope things have been good with you. How is the COVID outbreak over in the Netherlands? You wrote a dark fantasy with a Macedonian vampire queen that you follow for 1,000 years in her melancholic and hopeless love story. That sounds fascinating. I would love to read that. Did you actually publish that, or are you selling it somewhere? Yeah, what are you doing up so early? Ian? You hear that? If I'm ever attacked by a bear, you should move your fist down its throat, because larger mammals have a really sensitive gag reflex. Though that could just be advised by Yogi Bear, who knows? Maybe it'll just become the appetizer though, right? Small girl saying hi. Oh, Kalida's here. How are you? But we'll be silent because it's almost 6 AM. Still need to sleep and slightly drunk, but bringing love. Oh, well thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you'll get some actually good sleep. Sounds like you guys have been pulling an all-nighter. Oh, you watched an Irish music streamer and drank some beers, so you have been to a digital bar. Right, okay. That sounds pretty cool. Hope you guys had a lot of fun. Oh, thank you so much for the resub, Kalida. Really, really appreciate that. Oh, thank you, Dover Kid, for gifting that. Really appreciate that. Both of you guys, thank you for being here. It really does mean so much. You will, always saying hi when you can, always saying hi when you can. Yeah, it's been a while. You guys stream at horrible times for me because you're in Europe, and yeah, whenever it's late, I'm either trying to fit in a last minute stream, or I'm hanging out with my brother on late night drives. We really love going out and just doing drives through the hills, and you know, when it's nice and dark, it's really relaxing being able to, you know, just watch the beautiful scenery and all the lights of the city when you're going up and downhill. So yeah, that's what I'm generally doing late at night. You've been sleeping a lot when I stream, and you are busy with changing your channel, so the times will be changed as well. So maybe I can catch the stream because Kalida is joining you on your channel. What time? Is it going to be this weekend? I'm about 9 to 10 hours ahead of you. Okay. Lots of hugs going around. What does the future look like? How does the future look like? In what way? Like, our future as humanity? I think we won't last very long as a species. I think the aliens are going to come down and, you know, infiltrate us and take us all to Mars. I think they're on to Elon Musk. Or have I decided if this is ours? Probably. We can make it ours. We can definitely make it ours. I don't really mind who she is, to be honest. To me, she's just a girl who, yeah, I guess fits in well with the storyline. I wanted to have a human character that can observe the scenarios, just both to show how I draw a young human character, and also because then I have someone observing the situation, and so I get to have a couple of different expressions going. You know, I get to show off Humpty being freaked out, which is nice. Obviously I can't play around a lot with expressions on the spider over here, but yeah, I get to add a different expression for the observer as well as the Humpty who's going through everything, so that's nice. That's predominantly why I added her. Otherwise, yeah, it will just be a little more empty, I suppose. One day a week, Halita will stream alone on your channel, and one day a week is you alone. And 2 or 3 times a week it's you together. Not sure yet which times, but also streams in the morning for is 9 or 10 AM, so that will be early evening for me. That could work, that could definitely work, because I'm actually trying to stream during the daytime now instead of at night time. So currently I'm sort of experimenting with different time zones to try and find something that consistently works for me, because I haven't been doing this for super long. So yeah, that will definitely fit in a lot better, and then I can watch you guys stream, because yeah, I'm finding it's a lot easier to go through streams in a day rather than push them so late into the evenings for me. The timing is always precarious. You went to sleep after my stream yesterday and woke up just before your shift. If you weren't in an IT job working from home, you'd be in trouble. Yeah, I guess so. And I am sorry that my stream times have been, sort of switching around a little bit lately. It's just, yeah, trying to find something that works consistently, I guess. Can you show a painting you made on a friend's wall? Oh yeah, I'd love to see. Drop a link. I'll have a look. Are these proofs, or am I colouring or painting them? These will be proofs, and so I'll scan them in, and I'll either print them out and then colour them in watercolour and go over in graphite all over again. Hopefully I won't be doing that. Or I'll be colouring these in Procreate, so I'll still scan it in, which means the line work is very important, so essentially either way I will get this coloured in, either on Procreate or in watercolour. Let us have a look at what Dream Orb has just sent us. Let me just see if I can share that. Look at this, guys. Oh my goodness. This was apparently done on his friend's wall, or her friend's wall. I'm sorry, I'm not sure if you're male or female. But Dream Orb did this on their friend's wall. It's so adorable. You really have a lot of courage to draw this straight onto a wall. Oh my goodness. Streaming though through the magic portals, yeah, besides spells and clothing, what do I find issues drawing? You remember me talking about Charles's folds in his creation's clothing? Yeah, Charles is insane, especially with folds. He just has so much visual memory to rely on as a backup, and I really envy him with regards to that, so yeah, he's really good at that. I would say that in general I'm pretty good with folds, but I'm not as confident that I can just do a fold on everything, and I really do want to practice that. So yeah, I think folds are definitely challenging. I still feel more scared to do clouds than folds, so I'd still say that to me clouds are still more challenging, just because there's so much variety of clouds you can do, and if you want to really be able to manipulate clouds and do them how you want, it's for sure not easy unless you've got a lot of experience to fall back on. You are male and are made for a female friend. It is squirrel because you both have it as a spirit animal. Ah, right. Well, that's pretty awesome, and must have taken a lot of courage to do that straight onto a wall. I can't imagine. Charles has a lot of years of practice, so you know I will get there. I hope so, Dr. Chronic, but I'm totally in awe of everything Charles does, and like, it's also not just, you know, his age. I mean, he puts in so much time and effort, and if you don't practice every day consistently, you won't get there. So it's years and years of hard work. And that's the thing, you know, at times people get really annoyed at artists for charging maybe something that takes an artist, you know, 1 hour, they may charge $200 to $300 for, but essentially those artists have practiced and honed that skill over and over and over, you know, and I mean, yes, it may now take them only an hour to get something done, but if you think back on how much time it took them to get there, it's crazy. I mean, they really do put in a lot to practice their crafts. So yeah, really, I always hate practicing. Sorry, hate underpaying an artist. I always just feel like whenever I see them not charging themselves enough, I'm like, yeah, you really should up your the amount that you charge. Have I heard about the new squirrel diet? It's nuts. Oh really? Who would have thunk? You can hear the music with you guys now? Yes, I can! Finally! And guess what? Nothing changed. Nothing at all changed. Literally, I signed into my PC today, hooked up my AirPods, and they work just fine. So yeah, it was a bit nerve-wracking since you're not an artist and had never done it before, but she wanted it, and best friends should get what they desire. That is so sweet. That is so sweet. Oh my goodness, I can't imagine how much courage that would have taken though. Thanks for taking the time to watch it. Oh, it's my pleasure. Same thing with doctors. A brain surgeon is paid a lot because they did put in a lot of effort into their practice. Exactly. I mean, you wouldn't, you know, if a brain surgeon takes, a couple of hours and it costs you 80 grand, you wouldn't go, okay, you didn't spend that many hours on my brain, so it shouldn't cost that much, right? You will write that one down. It was nutty and great. Have you guys heard the song Little Acorns by Jack White? It's kind of funny. The intro bit is kind of funny. What's inauguration day? What does that mean? You have a new president. His swearing in was today. I really thought he was swearing today, which, I don't know, just wouldn't be really professional for a president, especially not on his first day, right? But yeah, glad. I hope that it goes well. I'm obviously from Australia and I have no idea what US politics is like, but I hope for you guys that this is a good thing. You're so happy Deb Holland is part of the team. She's one of the first Native women to become a congresswoman. Okay. Well, that does sound good. Acorn song, we'll try to remember. I'll type it in the chat and then hopefully you guys can remember. So it's Little Acorns by Jack White. It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's got a funny intro and kind of some piece of advice to go through life essentially. You go to sleep. Bye, Nick. I'll see you hopefully soon. No worries, Ian. I hope you and Kalida have a wonderful rest and get plenty of sleep, and hopefully you don't wake up feeling too crappy. Hopefully you wake up feeling nice and fresh. Probably won't happen, but who knows. Much love from you guys. Well, thank you. Definitely look forward to seeing you guys stream. I'll try to, I'm going to my boyfriend's on the weekend, so if I have some free time, I'll try and pop on and have a look at you guys streaming. That'll be awesome. I'm kind of curious what the state of our dinner is, considering it got so burnt earlier. So hopefully we will actually have something to eat. What are my thoughts on Australian politics? Is it equally nuts over there? Oh my gosh, Kenley, I don't think it even compares. To be honest, to me, as an outsider from Australia, US politics seems like the most uncivilized celebrity performance thing that I've ever seen. And it's hard to be able to tell, is that just how the media presents it over here? Because obviously the media does like to shock, and so, you know, is that just them trying to shock us, and they're only showing us their really crazy side of things, or they're blowing things out of proportion? I don't know, because I don't live there, you know? So, I mean, it's hard for me to really compare, especially with regards to another country. I don't like to make assumptions because, yeah, I guess I just feel like if you don't live there, you really don't know what's going on there. So, to me, you know, I find a lot of people, especially in Europe and, you know, even in Australia, are trying to get involved in US politics, and I'm watching and just going, well, you know, somebody in the States said that Australia was, you know, putting religious restrictions on people with regards to Christmas, which was totally untrue. But people in the States believed that because of how it was, you know, being broadcasted. And that it's just like sometimes the media can give you a completely different perspective. So because I live here, I'm able to know what's real and what's not. But I don't think our politics are crazy at all, which is nice. I'm really glad that it doesn't seem to be anything like what you guys have over in the States, which is nice. I personally am not much of a fan of politics to begin with, so kind of just stay out of the whole thing. And obviously voting is, you know, we have forced voting, so you do have to vote if you live in Australia. If you don't, you get fined. So yeah, we don't have the same issue as you guys do with regards to people don't vote, and so things are, you know, not fair either way. I don't know, very different. Thank you for following, Lynn Ara. Welcome. Hope you are feeling good today. Please feel free to introduce yourself. You bet for the rest of the world, almost every instance of US politics or policy or related culture would be like, what's up with that? Yeah, and I mean, I don't know. I really honestly don't know what's actually happening in the US. All I know is that a lot of what does happen seems like there's no way that it's purely being blown out of proportion. So I do think you guys have some crazy politics, and to me as an Australian, it kind of seems shocking to see that those are the top world leaders that you guys have to pick out of. I feel like, you know, I kind of feel sorry for Americans that those are the people that you have to vote for. And yeah, I mean, out of everyone in your country, surely there has to be some better options, you know. You have the opposite. You're punished if you're punished if you do vote. Jury duty. Oh my goodness. For real? We just have obligatory jury duty regardless, so we have to do it, you know, no matter what. So that's just discouraging people to vote. You outtalked a defense attorney and judge to get out of jury duty. Okay, well, that's good. You're an American and it's shocking to you too. Okay, well then maybe it's not just me and my perspective, but yeah, it does seem like a bit of a circus. I mean, if you watch our parliament, it does already seem like a circus, but at the very least, I don't know, when you watch our politicians, they're not as, I don't know, they're not as out there as those in the States seem. But I don't know, that's just that could just be culture, you know? Maybe it comes across to Australians that that's more like a reality TV show, because to us that's how it seems, or at least to me. But maybe it's not like that, I don't know. Maybe to Americans that's more acceptable and that's just how things are, because I do know different cultures have, you know, different ways that you behave can be acceptable. So there are better options, but they never get highlighted. There were 1,100 other options this past year, so why don't they get highlighted? You were selected out of jury duty once. Feels weird. Did you do it? If so, what was it like? I would hate that. I don't know. I would really hate that. Mostly because it would probably involve me going interstate or something, and I don't know. I hate traveling, so I'd loathe that. That would just, I don't know. But someone's got to do it, right? So we don't do it. You know, who's gonna? Well, the circus show that US politics has been lately, you guess your perspective is skewed. But yeah, it's probably equally crazy or more in all countries. I definitely don't think it's as crazy here. I feel like people in Australia tend to follow the US, so you know, the US tends to set a trend and Australians tend to follow that. So if you guys get more crazy, we're likely to follow suit, but in general, we're kind of like a few steps behind. They weren't as popular and don't have as much backing or money on their name. Right, okay, that does make sense. I hate all travelling, like never left Australia. I have been outside of Australia, but that's when I was like way young, so no, I have never been out of Australia as far as I can remember. Thank you for the follow, Yoshio. Welcome and feel free to introduce yourself. Happy to have you on here. I'd love to know what kind of art you like to make and where you're from. You'd vote Charles Lister as president and me as vice? Oh my gosh, no way, I don't want to be a president. I'd just be like, I don't know, getting someone to do it all for me, and then I just get to make whatever decisions I care about. You like traveling if it's by train? Watching the countryside while you're passing by is pretty great, and seeing new places. Yeah, see, that does sound nice. I mean, I don't mind road trips. Road trips are really awesome, but I hate flying. Just because it's so cramped and I don't know, too much planning. Road trips are more relaxing. I drew the clouds in the sketch there, right? And the pair of trees in the background? Yes. Yeah, so these were all done with my blender, so Yeah, as you know, these are super helpful, and yeah, always handy to have a blender around. You showed up, it was some business dispute, and they asked the jury basic intro questions about what their favourite TV shows are, and you and a weird old lady had weird answers, and the prosecutor told the two of you could leave. Really? That's so strange. That was it? That was your only experience? Getting others to do the work and deciding based on what I care about? You do have the skills then. I do think so, right? I mean, that's all you have to do, right? That's all you gotta do. Yeah, I'd probably just go, okay, well, how about we save all the animals and you can do whatever the heck you want with the rest of the money. That's probably all I'd do. Only thing you don't like about flying is security, the anxiety and stress. It's not that unsafe here in Australia. I don't think we really have a lot of risks with regards to flying, so yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah, I don't have any issues with flying itself. It's mostly the the cramness, and I hate the organising of the tickets, booking the tickets, knowing where to go to get on the damn plane and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, you need to be good at delegating responsibility as a president, so maybe I would do well. Well, maybe I would. Maybe I can think of that as a backup career, right? Yeah, I think little Zaza just chimed in for a sec there, so you guys may have heard his little adorable whimper in the background. I actually can't wait to get his stand. I'm going to have it right behind me so he can be on the streams, because yeah, it's just a bit cluttered having the whole cage here all the time. So it should come in Feb, which I think is next week. I'm pretty sure, no, it's not next week. 2 more weeks, then I have a stand. Can you see Zazu? Is that possible? Sure, I can go bring Zazu. Just give me 1 second. Hey Zazu, come and join me for a second. There you go. People would love to see you today. There we go. There's little Zazu. He's really tired at the moment because he hates the heat. Were you just growling at me? Were you? He's really grumpy too. You can see his feathers are ruffled up at the moment, which is him being a little agitated, to say the least. Oh, Doverkin, thank you so much for the bits. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. All the colours, they really are, aren't they? He is so vibrant. He is so beautiful and vibrant. Now I had, oh, he's not a, well, he does count as a ringneck. Do you guys call them ringnecks, that replicant? Or do you differentiate between them as well? Or are they also known as ringnecks over there? But yeah, I have actually been scouting out for a bigger cage for Zazu, for outside. His current cage is a decent size. Indian ringneck in Canada. Oh, okay, so Zazu's not an Indian ringneck. Zazu is the larger version, which is the Alexandrine parrot. He does kind of look like the ringnecks, but they have a larger patch on the back of their heads and bigger beaks for sure, and they're quite a bit larger. Even though I used to have a little Indian ringneck, and she bossed him around like crazy, so the little sooks though, they really are. There you go, yeah. But I do think you're right, they do call them ringnecks as well as a general name. Are parrots common pets in Australia? He's so cool. I don't think they're that common, but fairly common. His species is definitely not very common in Australia. Most people here like keeping cockatiels, budgies, and at times cockatoos. But yeah, he's definitely a little bit different. And but I love the ring species. I'm totally a fan. I love their long tails and their beautiful big beaks. And they're just, I don't know, they've got a really interesting personality. Ring neck equal cool bow tie. I know, it does, it does. It always looks like he's got a mustache around his chin area. You like palm cockatoos? Oh my goodness, those are crazy cool. I really like the black cockatoos, but the ones with the yellow, I think they're called the black cockatoos. The others are called the red-tailed cockatoos. But yeah, some of those are pretty endangered, so they'd be kind of pricey. You have giant crows where you live, you want as a pet, could you? Are they legal as pets or do you need a permit? You need a pretty big cage to keep a crow though. I mean, they're about the size of a macaw or even larger, so I mean, you'd have to have a pretty decently sized cage. Does he know his name, like commands or anything? You'd have no idea what owning a bird would be like. He does actually know his name. He knows a couple of things. He knows when he's being naughty, just based on the tone of my voice, and he knows when he has to stop doing something. He knows this word, which I won't say at the moment, because if I do say it, he may actually go crazy, because he'll think he gets to eat some. And that's his favourite treat, so I don't want to say it because it can set him off at times. But yeah, he's really smart. He says over 27 different words and phrases. He doesn't know a lot of physical tricks. I do actually want to teach him how to play soccer or, you know, other cute little tricks like waving. Some of my other birds could wave. You know, when I wave at them, they wave back, which is really adorable, but Zazie doesn't do that, sadly. Since you live out in the woods where it's a giant logging forest and also owned by the government, you see crows often here that hang out and hear them from time to time teasing dogs and barking at them. Interesting to hear a crow bark at a dog. No kidding. I actually watched this video the other day of I think it was a Moroccan cockatoo, and it was meowing at a group of cats and bossing them around. It was hilarious. Yeah, large parrots definitely do know their place, and I don't know, I think if I had a large parrot, especially a cockatoo, I'd be more worried for my cat than my parrot, for sure. Just because parrots have this really entitled personality about them. They think they deserve everything, and they're so needy. Like, I wake up, Zazen wants something. He wants attention. He wants to be around me all day. If he doesn't get it, he'll be miserable. So, I mean, he's just full on. You recently came across an article, a parrot was rescued from a horrible condition and given a new beak. You wanted to share with me earlier, but the before pictures are really heartbreaking, but the after pictures heartwarming. To be honest, Overkin, I have already seen pictures like that, so I'm not unfamiliar about it. It's so awful. Really, really sad how many parrots get adopted as pets, and people have no idea how demanding they can be as pets. I think it's a lot more common in the States because, you know, they're a lot cheaper over there. Here in Australia, they're more expensive, so people don't just tend to firebird and like, you know, not give it what it needs. Hello Jason, how are you going? Hope your day has been really good. And Zazu as well, yeah. Do a YouTube search for falconry and you, a UK falconer. She has a raven named Fable. That is awesome. To be honest, I think I've already seen a video of Fable. They're beautiful. Oh my goodness, they're so beautiful. You think you're gonna take off now? Have a good one. No worries, Khan. Thank you so much for stopping by. It's always lovely to catch up with you. Hope that tomorrow at work goes really well. You're about to end your day. It's about to be 12:30. Oh, do you have work tomorrow? How old is Zazu? Do parrots live a long time? You feel like a kid at the zoo. I don't mind any parrot questions. I could talk about parrots all day. I think Zazu's about 6 or 7, or I'll be able to check back on his birthday on my phone, but I think he's about 6 or 7 years old, and he will live until I'm around 80 years old, so that's gonna be a long time that I don't have to worry about it, you know? And that's why I love parrots, because I don't know, I can't stand pets dying on me. So yeah, knowing that little Zazu will be around for such a long time is definitely a blessing. And but it's all the more reason to, you know, think about the responsibility that you're taking on if you do get a parrot, because, you know, they're gonna be around for a pretty dang long time. Yeah, life partner, exactly. And you know, it's like I was explaining to my boyfriend the other day that I want to have more than one parrot at one point. I'd love to have an African grey, I'd love to have a macaw, I'd love to have an eclectus parrot, and I already have Zazu. But it's not like, you know, if you're a dog owner, you can have maybe a greyhound in your 20s, and then you have a chihuahua for the next 20 years, and then you can have like a couple and go through them. Whereas with a parrot, you kind of have to plan how many can you handle having, because like the reality is that they're going to be around for a very long time, and so, you know, you sort of need to plan, well, which parrot do I want most, because I can only afford to give so much time to this animal, and so I've decided to limit it to only having Zazu and my future macaw, which, you know, I won't take that on unless I know that I have the time, that's for sure. Zazu will outlive us all. He could, he actually could. Yeah, who knows? You never know when it's going to be your time, right? Life can be so short. It's so tragic. I don't know if you guys knew her or like followed her work, but there was this really famous and popular, I think she was from China, really famous Asian artist, and yeah, she had a lot of heart trouble, and then she actually got cancer and she passed away. Her name was Kinney, and yeah, it's really awful. And the worst part about it is this company actually tried to rip off some of her artwork and sell it on notebooks even after she had passed away, and the family had to fight off fight for, you know, rights to her work, because not only was it really, you know, it was almost like a stab in the back after them just having gone through that incredible loss, but also an immense amount of disrespect for who she was. I can't even imagine like what that would have felt like. It's crazy, but that's China for you as well, you know. That's insane. Life partner, exactly. Macaws can live up to 100 years exactly, yeah. So I drew clouds in the sketch there, right? The hills and the pear trees make for a really good background. Yes, I did draw these clouds, Storybook. Did them with my blender over here. So just blended them away until they were nice and faded. So yeah, been a long time going. I'm so almost done, you know. Gonna add a couple of different flowers, make this slide interesting, and then we will be done. Thank you for the follow, Lupita the Potato. Really appreciate that. Yeah, I can't believe Zazie is giving himself a proper manicure at the moment. As you can see, he's really intent about keeping his nails nice and clean. Greenland shark can live up to 500 years. Are you serious? That is crazy. I wonder what's the longest living animal. Like, would it be that shark? Like, cause that, are you for real? Do they really live 500 years? When did Zazu come into your life? The commitment phobe in you would really struggle with that decision. I mean, it's not something that you should probably overthink, I think, because having a pet and, you know, having a little creature in your life is still important. Thank you for sneezing all over me just then. I felt that. Yeah, so, yeah, I don't know. So Zazu came into my life about, I think, 6 or 7 years ago. You know, you cannot have that. 6 or 7 years ago. And so, at the time, I actually had another parrot, and I got Zazu to try and be a friend for them, but they didn't get along. So I needed to have 2 separate cages, and that's another thing to keep in mind, you know. A lot of these, especially the hand-reared parrots, like, it's a gamble, and I knew that when I got Zazu that it may not work out. You know, I knew that it was going to potentially mean needing to have 2 separate cages, but oh well, that's totally fine. You know, wasn't something that I wasn't aware of. Zazu giving himself a manicure reminded you of your roommate's cockatiel back when you used to live in Boston. Oh really? Did he like doing that? I think Zazu wants to play, so I'm going to put him back in his play area. Just give me 1 second. There you go. Six gill sharks live a long time too. They finally reach sexual maturity at 150 years. Oh my goodness. That long? Whoa. That's nuts. That is definitely nuts. It would be cool to take care of a pet that outlives you. Hard to call it a pet at that point though. That's true, right? It really starts making you question your role in their life. Yeah, I mean you've got this little creature that's reliant on you in so many ways and always will be, but you're going to have to, you know, think about their life after yours. Like, I mean, if I adopted a macaw, the reality is that it will most likely outlive me, and so I'd have to you know, once I get a lot older, I'd have to start thinking about, well, what's going to happen to this bird, you know, once I pass away. Because especially a really, you know, a really domesticated animal like that is not going to adjust well if it's just rehomed. A lot of those birds are really, you know, very intricate. Like Zazu already, he doesn't go to just anyone, so it's, I mean, he just getting him when he was a baby to feel at home with me, I think it took about easily 3 to 4 months before he started talking. And apparently at his old home, he was talking all the time. When I got him, he was the quietest bird I've ever seen. Like, he wouldn't even make a squeak ever. And that's just because he missed his old home, you know, he missed his old mum, and I felt really bad for him because it was in his best decision. That person was doing the right thing. She had just had a child, and she wanted to give Zazu a good home, and you know, I obviously did have the dedication to give him that time, but for him that whole experience was so overwhelming and so unsettling. So it took him a very, very long time to settle in and feel at home again. So yeah, if I had to rehome a parrot or plan ahead for, you know, what happens to them, I don't know, that would be a struggle. I think I'd really try to scout out who really loves animals and who doesn't have a lot of other responsibilities, because you can't take one on if you're already very busy. That's for sure. Like, I feel like if I took a full-time job, Zazu would, he would go mental. He would feel so alone. Uncle Zazu, Zazu's my family member. He totally is. Yeah, and I mean, he knows so many little phrases that are unique to my family, and I don't know, that we just get him and he just gets us. So you read a book that argued we were domesticated by plants and animals rather than the other way around. They're using us. In a way, if you think about it, they kind of are, because who's the slaves, right? I mean, if I could just sit back and have my cage cleaned for me every day, have food laid out on a platter, that sounds pretty damn nice. You're a slave to the rabbits? Exactly. I mean, how many little bunnies like rely on you and do you serve every day? So many cute little faces. I bet that every time you're feeding them, they're just like laughing at their human servant. 243 served today. Wow. That is a lot of bunnies. What happens if you ever have a bad day? Like, if you get sick, who takes care of your bunnies? Surely that you have to have like some backup plan in place. That's a lot of rabbits. Exactly. Oh, you have staff. Oh good. Well, that's a relief. I was gonna say, like, that must be all you do, is just go around feeding bunnies all day, which is not a bad life. Just saying, but I don't know. I mean, who's gonna feed you, right? So I think time to start adding in like some variety, like pebbles and things, but I think I'm gonna try and put in a bush or something on the right. Spooky thought, what if plants are actually farming us, giving us oxygen until we die and decompose back into the earth to consume us? Ew, that is not a nice thought. You know what I did the other day? I went on one of my YouTube videos and I clicked on the start of the video, clicked on the end, and like scrolled the whole thing through and you could actually see the plant moving. It was ridiculous. Like the whole plant was moving. They actually move so much all day. Let me look for a bush reference. No, I do not want George W. Bush. I want a bush plant, please. Because I'm thinking, I just want to have the right side of the page look a little more interesting, I guess. Maybe not anything too elaborate, but just a little bush. Like a little shrubby bush, I think would look good. They are, you just have better marketing? Wait, what? Not the banned bush, there's a banned bush? Shrubbery, exactly, shrubbery. That guy was terrible. You mean the president? Are you meaning the president or what are you referring to? Yeah, I'm gonna add a shrub. That's a good idea. I'm gonna add a shrub. And if I don't like it, I can just get rid of it, you know? So I'll just try and sort of add an outline here. I'm wondering, try and move it so you guys can see a little bit better. What am I drawing? Welcome, Rosiotto. I am actually drawing the second spread of my Humpty Dumpty page, so this is the left-hand side. I'll show you up close. That's Humpty's face being all freaked out. That's his little spider friend, and she's just observing the whole situation. So this is page 1, so the left-hand side, and this is the second page, so this is going to have all the text in the center, and yeah, at the moment I'm just adding in some shrubs to help give it some more visual interest. Thank you for the follow, Lupitata Potato. That is the most crazy tongue twister name I've ever seen. It's amazing, thank you. Happy little shrubbery, yes. Happy little shrubbery indeed. Yeah, so who knows how this is gonna turn out? We shall see, but anyways, probably gonna enjoy this. Thank you for the follow, Rosiotto. Did it as a joke, now you're stuck. Oh my goodness, I don't think you're stuck. I do think you can change your nickname. Just means you can't actually, no one else can claim it, I think, for a couple of months afterwards or something, I'm pretty sure. But I do think you can change, so if you're not keen on the tongue twister anymore, you can always change it. Am I a Tim Burton fan? Humpty's body reminds you of the mayor from Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh really? I haven't watched that. I really do want to, and yes, I am a huge Tim Burton fan, but haven't, like, surprisingly, I haven't actually watched a lot of his movies, which is strange considering I do love his work, but I just don't have a lot of time to watch movies, you know? Tim Burton is Pog, exactly. Yeah, I love both the new Alice in Wonderlands that he did. What's that other movie called again with Johnny Depp in, now I can't remember. Sleepy Hollow. Loved Sleepy Hollow. Thought that was a great movie. There's a couple of others, I just never remember the names. Thank you for the follow, Queen Melisandre. Really appreciate that. By the way, if you guys want to introduce yourselves, do feel free. I'd always love to know where you're from and what kind of art you like to make if you are an artist. You guys can't even see what I'm working on at the moment because it's all over on that side of the screen. Yeah, I'm just trying to get this shrub going. Hopefully we can make some decent progress. You've not gone to see a movie in years. I barely ever go to the movies. I actually did recently go, which is like the first time I think in a year that I did go, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. We watched what's it called again? Monster Hunter, which I wasn't really keen to see, but it actually was really nice. So you have a lot of shrubbery where you live. That's good. You got to do some art this week. You've had just a lot of in real life this week, as in a lot of in real life streams, or his movies with cast like Johnny Depp, Helena Bonham Carter, and that Batman movie with Michael Keaton. Awesome stuff. Which Batman movie? Did Tim Burton do a Batman movie? No, just day-to-day stuff. Work, bunnies, things to get done. Bunny sounds awesome though. Sounds really awesome. He just read an article about how Humpty Dumpty was never specified as being an egg. We just made him an egg in cartoons and illustrations to make it more digestible for kids. Yeah, a couple of people have told me that. I mean, he does look more cute like this, don't you think? I mean, who would have wanted to draw Humpty as a person? I wouldn't for sure. So I'm pretty happy that they made him an egg instead. Yep, Batman movie in 1989. Okay, I didn't know that there was one that long ago. Didn't know that. Your name? Is that a pun, Rosie Otto? Digestible as an egg? Oh, I see what you mean. That does make sense. Good one. There's a family of quail where you live that you've been seeing a season grow up and move through the shrubbery to stay out of sight of hawks. But crow chased them off the hawks, so don't see them so much. You mean you don't see the hawks so much, or the quail? Kind of sad. I will need to add a second shrub for sure, because I want to try and cut the page off a little bit. So I'm definitely gonna add. Let me just mute my phone because it's definitely not fun when it keeps going off like that. Oh, you don't see the hawks? I'm surprised that the crows chased them off. I wouldn't have thought that hawks are scared of crows. It wasn't meant to be, but it can be. You usually see about 13 baby quail birds each season. Oh, that's so adorable. They come into your yard and you feed them seeds. How freaking cute. How freaking cute. you think you'll turn in for the night, you'll catch up with me later. Have a wonderful rest of my stream and day. Take care. No worries, Dovakin. I really appreciate the bits and just all your support as per usual. Thank you so much, and hopefully tomorrow goes well for you at work. That grass is amazing. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I hope the shrubs will turn out amazing, because yeah, not too sure how they're gonna go, but we'll find out, you know. I can always start over if it doesn't turn out really good, so that's yeah, it's fine. Not to be an issue. Good night, Dorikin. Hope you sleep well. I think I'm gonna add the shaded areas of these shrubs first, and yeah, then just be easier to know which sections are where, and then I can start adding in some detail. And still my phone keeps going off. Just won't leave me alone, does it? Oh, thank you for the sub, Dr. Chronic. Really, really do appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's so sweet of you. You've got no idea how much all this support means, really. Thank you so much. I'm so honoured to have one of Charles's fans hanging out here. You know, no pressure, but nice to have your company though. Need to buy new tortillions and blending stumps because yours have been used until their final breath. Have you ever tried sharpening these? Apparently you should be able to, but I don't know. One of my friends tried it and he completely destroyed it, so apparently you're not supposed to, but it does say on the packages that you're meant to be able to yeah, sharpen these and clean them up essentially. So you like all forms of art, glad you can help. Well, thank you. It really, really does help so much more than you realise. Thank you so much though. Even just having you guys on here definitely helps a lot, so always appreciate that. One of your blending stumps has literally broken in half, but you're still using it because you don't want to be wasteful. Well, I've used so many pencils that I've broken in half, and then I just have this tiny little stump. But at least, you know what you could do? You could try and buy one of those pencil holders, ones that you are specifically made for if your pencil is really short, and then you stick it into that holder thing, and yeah, and then you've got a long pencil to hold on to again. Maybe you can use that for your blending stump. Like an extender, exactly, Jason. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. You actually just subbed for the flying hamster emote. Oh my goodness, that actually made my day. Thank you so much, Dr. Chronic. I love my hamsters. Yeah, it's like the little hamster emote is like my favorite ever character that I've created. I really need to do a t-shirt design with my little hamster, my flying hammy. That would be really cute. I've got my ghost bunny on my t-shirts, but I don't have a flying hammy. That'll be so cute. I'd love to wear him. Yeah, I really need to look into getting some extenders because I've got that problem with a couple of my my pencils, and yeah, I could really make use of one. At least I know you're not joking, but you do love hamsters. Do you have one? Because I love them too. The only reason I would never like want to actually get one, but I think I would just cave in and get one anyways. It's just because they have such short lifespans, and like, do you really want to say goodbye to something that cute every 2 to 3 years? I don't know. But then on the other hand, I always think of it like, but you got to give an amazing life to this little creature for 2 to 3 years, so there's that side of it. So why should your emotions mean more than the nice life you got to give this little creature, right? So it's like a balance. I can't decide how much can your heart take for the good of those little creatures, right? Yeah, you need to get one of those too. You need so many art supplies that you can't afford. Yeah, I think we're all in the same boat. I mean, it's like whenever you walk into an art store, you see all these things that you suddenly realize you need, and it's good to be ignorant. This is why I like online shopping. Less temptation for sure. You're joking, not joking. Okay, what does that mean? Oh, because you've got a couple cats. Yeah, that would make it hard. Like, Zazu is a major reason why I don't have cats. Because, Zazu's a very timid kind of parrot, and, I don't know. He's the kind of bird that would become cat entree for sure. So, yeah, I don't think I'll ever have a cat. But that would also make hamsters out of the question for someone like you, for sure. Oh, you mean you're joking? You sub for the entertainment value of the stream, not the hamster. Ah, got it. You have cats too. How many does Chronic have? Good question. Cats are so independent though. Like, cats are the kind of creatures you can actually have a lot of. It's pretty funny because over here in Australia we have a limit on the amount of cats you're allowed to own, and there's no limit on the amount of parrots you're allowed to own. I personally think cats are a lot more able to entertain themselves and just get by day to day without really needing much. I'm just going to turn down the music a little bit. It's getting too loud. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I think it's more cruel to keep a lot of parrots and not have time for them than cats, because I think cats are a lot more independent and a lot more able to go without much attention. Like, some cats don't even care about it. Just depends on the kind of cat, I suppose. Some cats really crave it. Are yours really needy, or are they more of the independent type? I'm really glad I added the shrubs. I don't know, I feel like they definitely do add a lot of value and interest for sure, so I'm glad that I added them in. Wasn't sure if I was gonna regret that, but so far so good, you know? You're as smart as like Charles? Yeah. You know what's my favourite thing to do, Dr. Chronic, is teasing Charles about Baby Yoda. He hates Baby Yoda and it's just so tempting. Last time he raided me, I told him that I was going to give him 900 free Baby Yoda prints sent straight to his house, and he was absolutely thrilled, I can tell you that. You have a rescue cat from a shelter, a rescue kitten from the city apartments where your brother lives, and seems like adopted some stray that lives outside your window in a special house you made to keep her warm. You call Miss Kitty that's too afraid to come inside so far. Oh really? Well, I'm sure with time that might change. I mean, maybe she just had really bad experience and is finding it extremely hard to be trusting again, you know? Your cat will want attention 1 second and then be hiding in his corner the next. Oh no, aren't they just... Cats are so bipolar, aren't they? Charles hates things that are overdone and wants to make things that aren't overdone. Yeah, he does. But then at the same time, his art is also very detailed and has so much going on. Like, if you look at the amount of visual interest in his pieces, it's ridiculous. I mean, you can look for 15 minutes straight at every single piece he does and just be in awe at the amount of creativity that goes into every section. You know, for example, Charles doesn't just draw a character with shoes on. Charles draws a character wearing unmatching pairs of socks, shoes that are out of this world and seem to be coming to life and, you know, having a mind of their own, or be kind of consuming the character that's wearing them, you know. It's ridiculous. You like to tell Charles you want to hang out with certain creations and party with them. How did you watch that stream with the opossum that he did? They look fun to hang with. They look scary to hang with too though. Like, I don't know, if you spend too much time with them, either some of their bad habits could rub off on you, I think, or maybe they just consume you, you know. Oh yeah, well, it's cute and scary at the same time. It really is, it really is. Yeah, Charles was one of my crazy good finds. The hilarious part is I found Charles on Instagram. I followed him, and then that very same day I was streaming and someone actually recommended him on my live stream because they said that I would like their work, and then I didn't immediately check the Twitch stream out, but later after the stream I checked it out and I was like, oh wait, I already follow this guy on Instagram, I just found him today. So I was like, fate was meant to be, you know, for me to find one of the most amazing creations on both Instagram and Twitch for sure. His creations help you not think about the stressful things in life, gives you wonder. It does, and I think it's also because for him, to a certain extent, that is his release of reality. So I'm sure that a certain portion of that does come through to the viewer as well, even though the viewer would interpret that differently. I still think a lot of that would come through, and it would really make sense why you'd feel that way. And I think that's a beautiful piece of art, you know. I mean, you can mean something a certain way, but someone might perceive it entirely different. As you age, you lose your imagination, and you need that in life. That's true, yeah. I think we can learn a lot, you know, observing kids and how free they are in that sense, that's for sure. It's time you head to bed soon. No worries, Jason. Enjoy your luck, and if you don't get around to saying goodbye, yeah, I hope you have a good sleep. We tend to dwell on things that stress us out too much, like what happens at work or will possibly happen the next day, instead of daydreaming of something not of this world. Yeah, exactly. I think once we just let go and don't take reality too seriously, which shouldn't be, you know, we get to live better, which is hard, you know. We're kind of wired to survive, and we're wired to look out for everything, and it's good to switch your brain off sometimes and just be a kid, which is why art and music and games are a must in the current times. Exactly, yeah. Music is another thing that's so inspiring. Music can take you back to an exact moment in your life and bring back a memory. I actually read that there was this lady who had Alzheimer's, and I think it was Alzheimer's, but she forgot how to dance, and she used to be a professional dancer. She couldn't do those moves at all anymore, and then they played her favorite music that she used to do a dance to, and she danced the whole entire choreography of that song without flaw. It was crazy how that music could bring back that memory for her. Thank you for the follow, Yensid. Really appreciate that. Hope you are having a wonderful day. Please feel free to introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, and tell us what kind of art you like to make. Yeah, it's crazy. I think, you know, that just goes to show music is a lot more powerful than we actually realize, and probably the same goes for art, I think. You know, it has a lot more ability to affect the human emotion and, you know, direct our motives than we realize, which is both a good thing if it's used well, but yeah, really makes you pay attention to the messages that you are pushing forward. But in general, I feel like artists are always trying to push forward healthy messages, or at least reforming messages. Have I ever heard of The Caretaker? No, I haven't. What's that about? you're producing your emotions and thoughts to produce something that you enjoy and hope others feel the same. Exactly, yeah. And I mean, to a certain extent, a lot of an artist's own experiences, will be relatable to other people. I think artists are also at times more connected with their emotions than most people, because they're obviously very much focusing on drawing into that area of their minds and reaching out certain experiences, so they're being really analytical of feelings. And I think because they're doing that, it can at times really make people notice, oh wait, I'm feeling this thing too and I didn't even realize it. Hopefully that's what happens. Hopefully that is the way that artwork gets perceived. Not everyone's going to relate to every artist's experiences, but a lot of experiences will have some things in common. And even though maybe the experiences that you pour into something may not be what that person's ever gone through in their life, they may be able to apply a different feeling to that. The Caretaker is a project that a man did where he made a 6-hour-long album that stimulates what it's like to have Alzheimer's. Really? I do not want to know what that feels like. That would be just awful. Oh no. Charles likes to answer his own questions, which is quite funny, talking to yourself in third person. Really? He does that? Like, asks himself a question and then answers it? Oh, it's terrible. You cried for like an hour after listening to it. Oh no. I don't know. I don't think I want to watch something like that. He will be like, hey Charles, then answers it. Lol. Okay. Well, I mean, if you're such an amazing artist, do you really need to ask advice from anybody except yourself, the master? Probably not. So, yeah. Charles is a pretty interesting dude in a good way. Like, Charles kind of, to me, defines what an artist is like in their own head. And I always love the way that he explains that artists don't need drugs, they're just like able to live in this alternate reality and bring it to life, which is so true. You don't need to be on anything to feel that. In fact, like he's actually explained before, that probably reduces the effectiveness of your art. So yeah, it's definitely very true. Thank you for the follow, Rin Marigold. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Please feel free to introduce yourself. Tell us a bit about you and the art that you like to make. But as someone who has mental illness, you think it's amazing that you can show what it's like to have one through art. Yeah, that's true. It's great, and especially something like Alzheimer's is really difficult to comprehend what that's actually like. So yeah. You have always said it's the normal ones you have to watch out for because those are the ones you can't trust. Indeed, that's so true. Stay away from them. Stay in Alice's Wonderland. That's where things are predictable, where things make sense. Hello, you're quite new to the channel. You love the whole theme and design of this channel. You've not read all the panels yet, but you're glad you did a random click when looking at the art streams. Oh, it's Ma, welcome. I'm glad that you like it here and glad that you like the layout of everything and like the style. I'll show you what we're working on today because since you're new, you're probably not familiar with this piece. But yeah, currently I am working on my storybook about Humpty Dumpty, which is a long-term project that I'm taking on in order to try and get some portfolio set up for children's book illustrations. So yeah, it's a bit of a different story. This whole thing is going to be coloured eventually, either scanned in and coloured in Procreate, or I'll probably paint it in watercolour. Either way, it's going to have some colour, and it's going to have a very pastel-y look once it's done. So you're a big fan of fantasy and have since you were young, so you like watching my art piece coming along. Oh, thank you, Dr. Chronic. I'm glad. Really glad. Yeah, this is a very extensive piece I've done, so I'm keen to get onto the next page though. Swell work there. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, we're now moving on to the second spread. So this spread is going to have all the text, and I'll probably add a white vignette over here and have the text, you know, just neatly tucked in below the brick wall. Thank you, Valiantaloo, for that follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome, and please feel free to introduce yourself. If you'd like to share some of your art, feel free. Will this be my own version of Alice? It's more my own version of Humpty. I'm going to do an Alice in Wonderland book, but this is more like a practice run in order to really establish my skills in planning out book layouts and things. So yeah, I do want to do an Alice in Wonderland book, but I really want to do a great job if I do one. So yeah, planning that in the future rather than now. So she may be featured here, but I'm not exactly going to write this whole book about Alice. Question: how difficult is keeping the scaling on each sketch consistent? What exactly do you mean by scaling on each sketch? As in, not sure. Do you mean like planning out where to start drawing it and how big to make it in comparison to the page? Is that what you mean? This is so cute. Thank you, thank you. So yeah, I'm currently adding some shrubs. I'm going to have some birds flying through into this page. But at the moment, I'm just doing these shrubs, and I actually haven't done shrubs before, so they were kind of daunting and I didn't know how they were going to come out. So, well, I haven't done them really well to my expectations. I just don't feel like I've done a lot of shrubs that I've been proud of, because I really haven't ever given them a lot of dedication, you know. Maybe they mean the size difference between the characters, not sure. Do you mind trying to explain what you mean by that, Isma? I'm sorry that I don't understand what you mean. Or was I going to add some flowers to the shrubs? Probably not. I don't want the whole thing to look too florally. I'm going to have flowers on the right side anyway, so the scaling of characters and walls and other assets on the other page to this one. Ah, got it. Okay, so not really, because all I had to do is pull a ruler through, and essentially this whole wall is the same, the same height. Other than that, it's just really trying to stay mindful of, how large are my trees on this side and how large can I have them, on the other side. To be honest, I already see some issues, but then trees can be big or small, you get larger trees. So a tree being a little off on one page is not going to be the end of the world. But for sure, having a human character in the background, you will need to be more careful. But you can see the size of the trees up here. It's about, 1 centimeter high. And some of the trees that are in the foreground here, like this little one, is definitely a lot smaller than the one I did on the right, which it's okay. I mean, I can always downscale the ones on the right or vice versa, but on the other hand, the trees could also be just smaller trees, so I just go with what I feel gives a pleasing composition. I much prefer having a more pleasing composition. It doesn't need to be completely accurate all the time. But yeah, if it was a human character, I would have to be extremely mindful of that. That's a good point. You like making the wall and things exactly the same? Right, okay. Well, I mean, it depends on the style of your art. If your style is very much, realistic, it does matter. Do I have any advice for someone who wants to start illustrating and wants to find their own art style? Yes, I do, actually. A lot of advice, because a lot of that I've already been through, a lot of that I'm still also dealing with. So yeah, I mean, I obviously studied illustration for a year and a half at uni, and yeah, we got given so much career advice at uni, and it's not the same for every artist. So you can't just look at what's worked for someone and assume that that's going to work for you. Every person's art is different, every person's going to have an entirely different career path, and that is what makes establishing yourself as an artist so difficult, because there is no set path. You legitimately just have to cave it out for yourself, and it's really hard. I think with regards to finding your own art style, what I did was I collected a bunch of art that I really loved. So I found artists that I admired, that I liked the work of, and I collected a large group of those artists, and I started noting down the kind of things I liked about each of them, because I didn't just like everything that a single artist did. I liked little bits here and a couple of bits there, and essentially I tried to make art that to me felt like perfection, that felt like, well, these are all the pieces from other artists that I want to see in my own work. Maybe I don't like that certain aspect of their work, but I like this one aspect. And so you learn from that. You learn to, maybe you like the way that somebody does nice open compositions, and you want to employ that in your own work. So I guess finding work that you like, learning about that style. So for me, that was pop surrealism. I was really into digital art when I first started out. I was very much into stuff like Lois's artwork, and I'm sure you can still see little remnants of that do pop up in my work, and I certainly did learn a lot from her. So, you know, the way that she incorporates shapes and does interesting shapes, and the way she uses colors, even though I don't use colors like that, you know, in my art currently, I did learn a lot from that. And but yeah, just the way she distorts a shape and makes it different was something that I still do apply in my work, but my artwork doesn't resemble anything that she does now, but I used to be a massive fan of her work, and I still am. Just, I guess my style of interest has switched over to traditional art, and specifically pop surrealist artwork. So yeah, I think basically the most important part of that is you need to start creating, and you need to do a lot of work consistently over and over and over, and you will eventually see a pattern that starts to pop up and shine, and that's how you'll know that's you and that's your style. Thank you for the follow, It's Ma. I really appreciate that. Using references or even tracing is really good to start off for practicing purposes only, obviously not stealing art. Exactly, Rin. Yeah, if you're just starting out, do go ahead and you know, especially draw this in your style exercises, all those things. They're great and they let you discover yourself. But yeah, you do need to credit the original artist if you're using their characters, for sure. And if you ever do feel guilty, like you may be copying, just mention it. I mean, there's no harm in doing that. No one is going to look down on you for crediting someone. In fact, quite the opposite, actually. You've traced photos before, but you think it would be uncomfortable tracing someone else's art. The downside about tracing art, though, is you will end up repeating their mistakes, and you won't ever learn how to draw freehand. So at one point you do need to cut off those training wheels and just let loose and learn how to do a composition from scratch. That is definitely really, really important. I mentioned that I took variables from various artists, but can I name a few artists who have influenced me the most? Yeah, definitely. Thomas Ascot is definitely one. The things that inspires me about his artwork is the looseness of his sketching style. If you look through my Instagram page, a couple of my pieces have a bit of a rougher style. This is very detailed. This is very, very refined. I obviously do switch a little bit between a very refined style and a more rough style. I'll try and show you. This is a more rough style. Like, as you can see, it's still got a lot of that sketchy line work, and I really love that. I love the simplicity of that. So yeah, that's I think that's something I really took from his work, and just the strength in his concepts, you know. When he creates artwork, it's never just a salamander drinking tea. There's at times a lot more going on. But I also love the randomness of his concepts. You know, he has certain characters that are his, and I love that he's created them and set them up in such a way. And I guess I try to do similar things, but just with my own characters, you know, not with, like, he obviously has his iconic salamander. He has, what's some of his other characters? He has little wood creatures as well, that are like, oh, and he also has like the babushka dolls. He loves drawing those. So just, yeah, the randomness, the childlike imagination that he brings to life. So yeah, I guess what I really learned from his work is trying to focus on your childhood inspirations and bringing that to life. trying to make memorable characters and putting little hidden concepts in your artwork as well, you know, is always an added bonus if you can do that. Ma would be fine. The it's is a bit much. No worries, Ma, I'll just call you that. Yeah, you strictly do realism, but you've been trying to get into illustration so that you can do projects that you can't do with realism. So that you use so much for the advice. Oh, thank you for the advice. No worries, that's totally fine. Yeah, yeah, I'd totally say just enjoy yourself. You know, discover what you like and play around with that. It's an exploration. It's a beautiful journey. You've jotted his name down. You'll do researching there soon. You love my piece right there. Thank you. Yeah. Another artist that I'm really inspired by, obviously, is Mab Graves. I love her work. She has these beautiful, childlike, a little gothic kind of fairy tale illustrations, and her paintings are gorgeous. The way she does scenery is gorgeous. The amount of detail in her scenery is out of this world. So, you know, I feel like Mab Graves is much like a really good artist at painting a background scene. Thomas Ascot is really good at coming up with a creative concept and lifelike imagination. And so those are different things that I guess I draw from each artist. And then there's an artist called Dustin Baylard, and he does beautiful characters, and he has his own distinct style to draw faces as well. And so I'm always trying to refine you know, the uniqueness and recognizable features in my faces, so that if someone can look at my work and see my characters' eyes and faces, that they can know that those are my characters. I think that's also a really good part of being an artist, is having your characters be recognized as your style, and eyes are such an important part of that. There's also another artist, but I always forget her name, but she does the most beautiful kind of like, they look like antique paintings from the Renaissance period or earlier, but they're all like kind of gothic and have a beautiful modern spin to them. I just completely adore the way that the style that they do their oil paintings in. But yeah, unfortunately I don't know their name, so can't drop it because I forgot. But yeah, that's just exceptional. Totally exceptional work. Yeah, so many artists these days that you can get inspired from. It's crazy. I mean, and then there's Charles. So, I mean, I think if you asked me what is a good concept artist that does sketching that I can learn from, I would tell you to go look at Charles's work. He is by far more creative than any other artist I see doing sketches, and that is a really hard level to reach. And I follow a lot of people on Instagram, so yeah, the amount of creativity in his work is stunning. There's also another artist who does really creative sketches, but I think the thing I love about his work most is the rendering. He's really good at rendering with minimal lines, almost like when he puts down his lines, he just knows where to place them, almost like a robot. It's crazy. Oh, and then there's another artist called, I think it's Wiley Beckett. I'll type her name in the chat because I don't know how to pronounce her name. But her work, like her entire process is insane. I mean, she does beautiful line work in graphite, and then she does ink washes over that, which is crazy beautiful. But if you ever have a chance, go to her website and watch her process videos on YouTube. They are absolutely incredible, and she worked so hard to try and perfect a style that she was happy with. She knew what she wanted, and she tried over and over until she got the exact outcome that she wanted, and she nailed it. I mean, whatever she does, she absolutely nailed it. You used to draw architecture after time, you faded away from drawing, you got back into art via writing and calligraphy in a sloppy form. You got more serious in the pen hobbies this Christmas. Fountain pens are your addiction, you still want to get back into architecture. All in due time. You can't ponder entering this style of art. You don't have the creativity for this style of art. Well, I mean, I don't think it's that you necessarily don't. It's maybe more just that you haven't allowed your mind to seep into those areas and explore those areas, you know? You will jot that name down for sure. Do check her out. There's also an artist called Jewel Cooper, and her gouache work, her process to plan out paintings is ridiculous. I mean, I don't know how she does it. It's like she sees the step-by-step process for those paintings before she even makes a start, and I don't know how she does it, but it's ridiculously good. Yeah, I love her work. So yeah, I have way too many people that I follow on social media, as you can see, and I don't have nearly enough time to keep up with them all, because I mean, we live in a day and age where we are so lucky to have the amount of cool art we can look at just at our fingertips. Or you too started only doing architecture drawings and drifted away from your drawing hobby, but you're back practicing now. So Ma and Lupita, did you guys do architecture professionally, or what got you into that? You're still studying architecture, but always loved art, wanted to study art too. Well, I can definitely tell you that architecture is most definitely going to pay the bills a lot better than art, that's for sure. But I mean, follow your passion, whatever that is. If you're dedicated enough to something, I mean, that's probably where your heart should go. But yeah, wow, architecture can be so inspiring. I'm trying to think of my favorite architecture style. It was the one that had this very brief period right after Art Nouveau. It was like the architecture style that stemmed from Art Nouveau. I forgot the name of it. I don't know if you guys maybe remember. It was a very, very narrow period of architecture. It had that dragon building, the really wacky kind of Tim Burton-esque style buildings, also very gothic, like there were cathedrals and stuff done in that style. Damn, can't remember. It'll come to me later on, I know. But yeah, that's my favourite architecture style actually. Really love that style. Gaudi, yes, yes, Gaudi's stuff. Yeah, I don't think it was like called the Gaudi style, but yes, he was definitely a forerunner in that style for sure. Thank you. What was his name again? Gothic architecture is perfection. I know, I know. I wish Monday could go back to that and we could have all these beautiful Gothic buildings. I think that was a very underrated style, for sure. You always loved art and wanted to study art too. No, you're only just out of high school. It was drawing architecture as your style for completing projects in your advanced art classes. You had the patience for architecture, but not really too much with the other styles. Okay, well, I think architects have a very different mind with regards to drawing. You know what's funny? I had professional drawing classes 3 times at uni, like three courses, like 3 semesters. And if you get me to walk into a room with a full class, half of the class being architects, the other half, well, like a third of the class being architects, the other third being fine art students, and the last third being illustrators, if you had them all draw a box or something very similar to each other, I could tell you what each person wants to become. I could tell you who's going to want to become the illustrator, who's going to be the fine artist, and who is the architect, just based on how those people draw lines. It's crazy. Like, there must be some relation to how a person draws a line or something so simple and how their mind works, you know, like, because I was able to accurately, you know, pick a class, because by the time I came to my 3rd semester, I noticed that I'd gotten really good at it. So I'd go around to all my classmates and be like, and like test them, you know, I'd be like, well, are you studying fine art? Are you studying illustration? And then they'd like reply and tell me what they were doing, and I never got it wrong. It's ridiculous. Like, I was so surprised, and it's just based on yeah, I think, yeah, people, like some people do keep their pencil or utensil on the paper a lot more, and other people lift it off a lot more. That's also a really telling sign on what kind of direction they want to go in. The way they draw their lines, whether they do little stitching movements, whether they do continuous lines, and the thickness that they press onto the paper with. Usually the fine artists are the very expressive ones that like to really push in, and illustrators tend to hold back a little bit more because they tend to think through things a bit more. So yeah, lots of little tidbits that give things away, and if you take in everything as a totality, you can kind of summarize it. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I wish we could go back to Gaudi's art style of architecture. That was way too underrepresented, and I wish that we had more of that. You know, we should go back to that. So at least now that I have the base of my brush set down, yeah, it's going to be fairly easy for me to do the rest. That's so cool. Yeah, I know, it's fascinating. It's so fascinating. I didn't know it before, but my teachers told us about it and it really intrigued me. Was getting ready for bed because work, but wanted to say my outfit is an art piece itself and creative and colourful. Oh, thank you, thank you. Yeah, it's not like the coolest piece of outfit I could have picked for today, but I didn't expect today to get this warm, so there's that, you know. Sometimes you don't see the weather forecast. Do I do digital art or mostly traditional? I would say 80 to 90% traditional. I do colour my pieces in Procreate though, so I'll show you. This is the kind of oil paintings I do. That's traditional. My accent is probably, sorry, I'm from South Australia, Ma, hope that helps. So yeah, this is a traditional piece that I did in oils. Most of my work is either graphite and watercolour or oils, so yeah, this is another piece I've done, which is done in acrylics, and it was one of my first acrylic pieces that I finished and had a full background. Oh bless, thanks, no worries. Thank you for the follow, Native Darling, welcome, and I hope you feel free to introduce yourself. Hi ArchD Studio, how are you going? And I'll show you one of my other pieces. This is also done in oils. So yeah, most of my work, particularly this is like the peak epitome of my creations, my oil babies. Yeah, I love my oils. I used to actually be a fully traditional artist, but yeah, I don't know. I fell in love with being able to have my hands get messy. You're trying to practice your cursive while watching, but your cat won't leave you alone. Oh my goodness! That's not helpful when you need to keep your hands steady, right? You really like my kind of creepy style, especially the eyes. Oh, thank you, thank you. I hope that, you know, I put a lot of effort into trying to have my eyes feel a little bit sinister but friendly at the same time. So eyes are so tricky. There are so many things you can do with eyes that, you know, it's hard to refine it to one style. Just saw that one on my Instagram. Oh really? The Spider Girl? Very Wednesday Addams. I did actually do a drawing of Wednesday Addams. It's a little Burton-esque, which you love. I do love Tim Burton stuff, so very much inspired. You've only got 18 cats, mostly kittens. You're glad that only one wants to bother you. Oh really? Well, at least you've got one friendly one. Otherwise, you know, you would have been kind of left alone. My art is beautiful. Oh, Native, thank you. I'm so glad you like it. Makes you think of Mark Ryden. Oh yeah, guys, that's another artist that I'm really inspired by. I'm not a huge fan of all his meat stuff, but like I'm a huge fan of his rendering, the style that he can replicate like an old-fashioned art style in a modern way, which is, yeah, a huge part of what pop surrealism is about. So yeah, his work's fascinating. 18 cats is so many. Oh my, that is a lot of cats. Oh my goodness. Honesty Bob, welcome. I hope you feel free to introduce yourself. Please tell us a bit about you and the kind of art you like to make. So have I ever dabbled into the fountain pen world? No, I haven't. I've never actually owned one, and they always look so cool. I'd love to just have this beautiful one sitting, like workable one, sitting on my desk, ready to be used for those special occasions. But they're pricey. Already followed on Insta too, love my work, gotta go now, it's so late in Mexico. No worries, Lupita, really appreciate you coming around and saying hi and, you know, getting to know us. Glad you followed, really means a lot. Elbow Rocket on Twitter is one of your favourite artists. They draw a lot of post-apocalyptic characters. Have you looked into the work of Sergi Brosa? I think he's from Mexico. Let me type his name. Check out Sergi Brosa's work. He actually did the concept art for Borderlands, the video game. I think Borderlands 2. And he does post-apocalyptic concept art, and it's ridiculously good. I love his work. He's a digital artist though. You're a big fan of sci-fi and you do love that alien piece. It hugs your creative fancy for the different things in life that make us explore our own imagination. Well, I kind of like see the world in the sense that, well, aliens have come, you know, down to infiltrate humans, and so we don't know how many of them are actually around. So that was her coming to Earth and experiencing what Earth is like, making friends with the animals. So yeah, a little bit of whimsical imagination, I suppose. Oil colours are just awesome. I know. I am forever smitten with oil colours. I'm like, yeah. There's no going back. Once you've tried it, there's no other medium for you. There's just no going back, ever. Not at all. You got into the hobby with nice paper, ink and a nice pen for only $30 US. It's not too expensive to enter the hobby. Okay. These pencils of mine, this one's really dull and faded by now, but when I got them, they look shiny like this. They're from Kawiko, Germany, and I'm really in love with them. And I bring that up because they have fountain pens that I really like, but I don't know what to look for when you're looking at fountain pens. I don't know, like, are there certain ones that are good and certain ones that are bad? Like, what do you look for, you know? Plus, I wouldn't really use them for art. I would mostly only use them to write letters to my customers, you know, from my art store. So, I don't know. I mean, I want to, but mostly just for fun. Mostly because I think they look ridiculously epic, and why not, right? You love those pencil designs. If there is a way you could link me to some informational sources, there should be. Either you can whisper me here on Twitch if you like to, or feel free to join Discord and yeah, just post the information on there as well if you'd like to. How come the music has gotten so quiet at the moment? Oh, it's the end of the song, is it? You're listening to stream while painting a Halloween picture book at the back of your sketchbook. Oh my goodness, that's really cool. That is so awesome. You've got to show us once you've done that. You must pass out as well. You have enjoyed the ways of my art, and you will be sure to catch my Twitch stream in the future. No worries, Dr. Chronic. I really appreciate the sub and you taking the time to check in on my work. Yeah, hope you have a lovely rest of your day though. Thank you so much for stopping by. And for the hamster appreciation, as always. you'll be sure to check it out. It helps you space out and relaxing other people's imagination. No worries. I hope it does inspire you. Good night everyone, and hope we enjoy the rest of the stream. We sure will, we sure will. You're here, but you'll be mostly lurking. Aw, that's alright, no worries. You also like this music? Well, that's good. People do feel in general like the music is nice and relaxing, I suppose, which is good. Sorry you've been quiet, you're drawing along with the stream. Oh, that's perfect. So happy to hear that. What are you drawing? Hi, Three Dog, welcome back. Nice to see you again. How have you been? You've always been intimidated by drawing buildings and structures, but Gaudi buildings are really neat. They really are, yeah. And I don't know, they feel like the freest side of architecture, you know? You just joined the Discord, but where would I like you to post the informational sources in my server? It's a new environment for you. Just wherever, honestly. Just the general chat, just say that, I don't know, we talked about this on stream and I was curious, so feel free. The general chat's fine, art's fine, wherever, it really doesn't matter. But yeah, general probably would be most relevant, I suppose. You're drawing K-pop idol as Alice for Alice in Wonderland. Who is K-pop idol? I don't know them that well. Is that like some Asian pop artist or something? Understandable, you just wanted to respect my structure. No worries, Ma, that makes sense. In general, we're pretty cool with the structure. We're not that strict about it on my Discord. So, totally fine. I think some people, like, I have noticed some streamers are really adamant about keeping that organized. I can assure you that's not the case on my Discord. We kind of just get carried away and go with wherever the flow goes, you know? It's a girl from one of the most famous girl groups in Korea. I think I've heard of them because I had a Korean friend at university, and I think she was into them. So that's probably where I heard about them. But yeah, not too familiar with them myself, so. Does she look a lot like Alice? Is that why? Is that why you're making her into Alice? Hopefully this shrub is starting to actually look like a proper shrub. We shall see, I guess, soon enough. It's for an Instagram collab. Okay. Is it with one of your friends or with whom? Are you doing it traditionally or digitally? That sounds pretty awesome. Yeah, I'm not sure. I didn't do a lot of leaves on these vines. Oh, you guys can't see the vines. Didn't do too much leaves on the vines. I don't know. Shrubs just aren't quite there, so I'm not sure what exactly it is about them. Perhaps it's the size of the leaves, they just don't feel convincing enough or textured enough. I'm not entirely sure. We'll see. Maybe it just needs more shading. You're drawing it with graphite pencils. Okay, that's cool. Are you guys gonna color it, or is one of you doing the line work and the other has to do the color? Is that how it works? you talking from TZU from Twitch? It's Yongyan from Twice. Okay. Is that an artist on different platform or? I think it just needs proper contrast. I think that's the issue at the moment. I think once I get that additional contrast added in, it's going to look a lot better. So I think I just need to keep going. Hopefully we'll get there. Tizuyu paints as well. In what form? Like digital or traditional? Just need to get some proper references. You can hear little Zazu sneezing all over the place. It says fake sneezing. It's like him trying to copy the sounds that we make. You really, oh, it's traditional in acrylic? Cool. You posted some sources for me in Discord. No worries, thank you, Ma. I'll definitely check it out after the stream. If I do get a bit delayed in replying to messages, sometimes I'm just like taking a while, but I always get to them in one go and then I check everything, so I'm sure to get to it. But thank you, because I'm definitely considering, you know, getting myself some, so it'd be really nice to know some more information about that. Definitely do appreciate the time. I think having some proper shadows would also be helpful, you know. So there's lots of little bits and pieces. Yeah, you can vibe with the stream. Well, that's great, I'm glad. Which streams are some of your other favorites? Probably know a couple of those. Do you normally watch art stream Sonic, or are you more of a gaming stream watcher? What's your normal go-to? You feel like you're in therapy right now, which is great because real therapy is expensive. Well, that's good. I'm glad it's so peaceful. And yeah, it's definitely, I don't know, streams are really relaxing, in my opinion. They can also be frustrating in the sense that sometimes when I'm watching other people stream, it makes me just want to go and make art myself. So yeah, it's like, I don't know, frustrating and also not at the same time. You love Debbie B, your mates. You've never watched a real art stream before. I'm popping that cherry for you right now. Oh, well, glad that I'm giving you the first experience. But yeah, if you're new here, yes, this is a Kawiko pen, Savage. You've got a good eye, good eye. It's not a pen, sorry, it's a pencil. My bad. So this is the other spread. I'm doing a, sorry for the background noise guys. I'm doing a storybook which is about Humpty Dumpty, and this is the left hand spread that I've done. It's basically completed. I'm going to scan it in and either colour it in Procreate or scan it, print it and do it in watercolour. We'll see as we go, depends on how much effort I want to put in, but yeah, so we're now working on page 2. So this page is going to have the text in this section, which is why it's so empty. I don't want to over clutter it. And so I'm going to have a couple of birds flying through at the top, and then we're done. Then we've got the first spread for the book finished, because I've wrong drawer. I've also done this different spread of Humpty Dumpty where he's in the process of falling. He's got different expressions. You can see him, yeah, terrified, falling down. All these different expressions of his as he's going through the motions, quite literally and figuratively. You know those pencils are brass? Do they have that metallic smell? They do, they do. They also tend to make my hands a little green. I don't know if you guys can tell. They do go a little green, but not too bad. So, I don't know, I don't mind it, but incredible, he deserves to fall through after what he did to Boots. Oh, what happened? I didn't see that. I'm hulking out. Oh. Is that a good thing? Oh, you've got a fountain pen in a similar style. They're really good, aren't they? I love them. No, I don't know Puss in Boots, Sonic. I've been told to watch it today, so I guess I should. Depends on which one you get. Some are gold plated, so you don't get it as much. Yeah, exactly. The gold ones are really expensive though. I got the brass ones. I also wanted 2, so you know I got the 0.5 and the 0.7, so I have both. You're just joking around. Sorry, you try to make heaps of people laugh. I'm sorry, did I miss something? Totally don't mind though, and thank you for the follow, Sonic. I really appreciate that. Glad that you feel at home. But yeah, this is today's stream is a drawing stream actually. Most of the time lately I've been doing paintings. I can actually get this thing moved up. I can show you what I've been working on. There we go. This is one of my paintings that I have in progress. Savage Man, you got a fountain pen, you just noticed that they wrote that call you odd can be pen friend. My art's incredible though. Am I an art teacher? No, I'm not. I'm just an avid art fan. Not an art teacher. I don't think I'm really good at teaching. But yeah, this is my oil painting that I'm currently working on, and yeah, should get to working on more later this week. I've started doing some detail on the birds. Got a lot of issues. I need to, you know, finish the paper bag that she's holding. But yeah, it'll eventually get there. Just just takes a long time. This one's been, they're not turkeys, they're guinea fowl, but yeah. I have this whole vibe that's very calming, like an art teacher or therapist. Well, if it's art therapy, then that's great. Yeah, it's also got a couple of other oil paintings that I've done. This one's a Halloween themed one. It's almost done. Only a couple of details to go. I've also got this one that's also very, very close to being done. Only need to add a few details here and there, and then this will be done. She's got spider webs down the bottom. Her ballet shoes are shiny, and you can see the spider web. So yeah, it's really, really close to being done, this one. But yeah. And the other one, this is my only fully done Savage. That is Zazu, my parrot. He's not a cockatoo, he's an Alexandrian parrot actually. And now he's gone quiet, which is not a good sign. So this is my acrylic painting called Welcome to Earth. It was my first fully done background scene painting, I think. So, what is a drawing I'm most proud of? Do you mean drawing or do you mean painting? I don't know. If it's painting, I think I would have to say this one, because this one has a very extensive background and it took a long time, and yeah, I'm just really happy with how it turned out. You mean you like what art that I made am I most proud of? I think this one. Yeah, I think this one, because yeah, it's just the whole composition works really well. I'm really proud of how I executed the sketch into a full painting. But it's a very, very close call. My second favorite piece, I think, would have to be this one. I'm pretty sure. I really like this one. And I think what I love about this one is got that old oil painting feel that I really love. So yeah, I don't know, but I really want to push myself. I really want to try and push to new boundaries, you know, get some new stuff done. And I think I was also really happy with the execution of this piece. I love the composition. I love how I executed it. I love the story that I laid out behind this one. So it's about a girl who's passed away, and they told her that if she watered her own grave, she'd come back to life. But instead of coming back to life, she's growing plants into her eyes and onto her grave, and the animals are starting to build a symbiotic relationship with her. So yeah, I just love how I executed that idea that I had, that I wanted to put to paper. And you know, sometimes you have an idea and it doesn't always turn out the way that you want to. And there's very few moments where you have this idea in your head and it actually comes out the way that you want it to. And I think for an artist, that is like the epitome of creation, is when we get to put an idea that we had in our head onto paper and actually get it to look like we saw it in our heads, you know, because there's so many obstacles, you know, to that can go wrong. So with my talent, nothing is impossible. Oh, Sonny, thank you. I hope so. I still feel like I have so much to learn though. I'm totally always in awe of all the creativity around me, so that must be such a great moment, realizing your thoughts onto paper. Exactly, yeah, totally. Yeah, I do commissions. Sorry about the noise. I do commissions. I have commissions available on my Etsy store. So yeah, if you guys are interested, I am always available, and yeah, if you want to see me do them on stream, I'm happy to do that too. No artist is ever finished learning. Exactly. Yeah, the bird does want to join in. Give me 1 second. I think the bird is hearing all the noise in the kitchen, and that's why the bird wants to join in. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm so glad that you like the output of those. Definitely, those are my favourite moments ever. Bird is indeed the word, exactly. I do think it's time though, guys, to raid because yeah, we've been going for a while. Zaz is getting impatient, so I probably need to find someone that we can raid, but I'm so happy that, yeah, I met so many of you guys today. It was so awesome. But let's see who we can raid today. And then hopefully you guys can flee the awful noise. I'll see if there's anybody that I know that we can raid. So there's not many people that I know that are currently streaming, but we could always go and there's an artist called Freakmeister who is doing a painting of a dog. We could go and give him a bit of a raid. How do you guys feel about that? That looks like an oil or acrylic painting that he's working on. Yes, let's go and raid Freakmeister. He's a really lovely guy. And then you guys can flee the noise, hopefully. But anyways, thank you so much guys for following. Yes, I'm active on Twitter, Sonic. You can always follow me on there. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Let us start that raid. Sorry so much about the noise. But yeah, I will be on again tomorrow, so yeah, if you guys want to follow along tomorrow's progress, hopefully we can finish this second spread. Or I'll be doing some oil painting. Either way, we'll be doing something tomorrow, so let's go. Let us give Freakmeister a raid. But I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.